Jenni Carlson.
I'm Barry Tramel. Welcome to the Jenni and Berry Show.
Well, All-Star Weekend is here. The NBA season takes a short detour and breather, and lots of fans feel like it's a great time to take a break too. That's because they don't exactly care to watch what happens during All-Star Weekend. Dunk contest, the skills contest, the game itself, it's not exactly must-see TV, but it could be. Barry and I are here to help with some ideas to improve All-Star Weekend. But first, we want to say thanks to these sponsors for supporting the Jenni and Berry Show. The Oklahoma Ford Dealers Association, MidFirst Bank, Next Gen Roofing, Two Fellas Movers, National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum, 988, Oklahoma's Mental Health Lifeline. Drive into your best in Oklahoma Ford dealers today for the best deals on Ford's full lineup of trucks and SUVs. Ford is the best in Oklahoma. And let's face it, a box of pizza and a case of beer just don't work like they used to when you're moving. Nobody wants to help you. We know two fellas who love moving. At Two Fellas Moving Company, we offer free, no-strings quotes for your move. With more than 20 years experience, we've pretty much moved it all. Our services don't end up moving either. Need to do some remodeling or spring cleaning? We've got you covered with dumpster rentals and junk haul services. Remember, all quotes are free and there are absolutely no strings attached. If you're moving in Oklahoma, make sure to call the fellas. Visit twofellas.com for your free quote today. All right, Barry, I don't know about you, but All-Star Weekend rolls around and I have a hard time getting all that fired up about it. Am I the only one?
No, you are in the majority. America is largely ambivalent about the NBA All-Star Game. You know, All-Star games in general are sort of passe. Yeah. The Pro Bowl is gone. The Major League Baseball All-Star Game is a shadow of its former self. The NHL All-Star Game was a couple of weeks ago. Did anybody even know it? So
the only reason I knew it is because I think Michael Bublé had a press conference in which he was either stoned or drunk or some combination thereof. I think it was Michael Bublé. If it wasn't, I apologize to Michael Bublé. But that's the only reason I knew NHL All-Star Weekend was happening.
Well, let me ask you, was it all over the interwebs? Or are you a big Michael Bublé fan? Which is it? I don't know. You know, they had that Michael Bublé cutout at Paycom Center for months and months and months because his show got canceled and they left that thing up for, I don't know, it's probably up 8 months. So I don't. The All-Star games they're sort of out of fashion, and the NBA's probably. Well, I mean, the baseball's still as good as the NBA, but it's
none of them are popular.
Tougher sell than it used to be.
Yeah. Because who wants to watch a watered-down version of players and action that we get to see on a nightly basis again and again and again? Whether it's, I agree. The Pro Bowl, the NFL Pro Bowl, I'm glad it's gone away because as the game has gotten more focused on player safety. The last thing you want is for some player to go into the Pro Bowl and get hurt, be out there playing like he's, going full bore in a game. I mean, that to me was just foolishness upon foolishness. But the NBA All-Star Game is, at least it resembles sort of like Major League Baseball, an actual game. But pretty clearly, the NBA has a sense that it's not what it needs to be because it's tweaked things repeatedly over the years. I mean, the NBA was conferences, West versus East. Then it had a draft. Now it's gone back to conferences versus conferences. I mean, is that what it should stay at? Or is there something else the NBA could do to make the game a better game, Barry?
Well, I don't know. How do you feel about U.S. versus international? Would that be fun?
Interesting.
I haven't even put a finger to, or I mean a calculator to it, but I don't know what the breakdown is between U.S. All-Stars this year and non-U.S. All-Stars, but that
seems like it could tilt pretty heavily towards internationals right now. When you think about the MVP race, Jokic, if Embiid was healthy, Shea, Doncic, I mean, the guys at the top of the MVP race are all internationals.
Yeah, they are, but I don't know about the makeup of the rosters. That when you get down, you might say, let's see, NBA All-Star rosters. We'll count them up right here. Giannis, Embiid. Of course, Embiid's out, but that's 2-2-0. Halliburton makes it 2-1. Lillard 2-2. Jason Tatum 2-3. Adebayo 2-4. Banchero 2-5. Scotty Barnes. I think we'd end up with too many Americans.
Yeah, possibly.
But whatever you could do, that would help. In baseball, they've tried to motivate the players, give them home field advantage in the World Series. That was met with wide derision. I don't know. I don't know that that would work in basketball. In fact, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't. So I don't know what you can do to get guys to play more defense. What's interesting, Jacko, we were having our meeting the other day. I think it's Bobby Howard, but somebody pointed out that the subsidiary events of All-Star Weekend, the three-point contest, the dunk contest, that's really what the All-Star game is. There's literally nothing except dunks and three-point shots. Some of them from far away. It's a 34. So I don't know. But basketball is no fun without defense. We've had a 50-year referendum on the Globetrotters. They were popular for almost half a century, and they've been not all that popular for the last half century. So you want real basketball. You want resistance when you're seeing top stars play. We don't get it in the All-Star game.
Yeah. I mean, would it be interesting to have a U.S. versus international, or, maybe an age cutoff if you had your older stars versus your under 30s, perhaps?
Sign me up. Sign me up. I mean, you're a lifelong ageist. You've discriminated against us old guys forever. So
that is not true.
You'd be there cheering for the SGA crowd, and I'd be out there cheering on Team LeBron. But I think that'd be fun, don't you? I mean, I think that might work.
It's not that it's not sort of interesting, but I'm not sure it helps the quality of the game. I mean, I think it gets back to this whole idea that, these guys aren't going to go out there and play like they are going to play the rest of the regular season if they're vying for playoff contention. I mean, they're not going to play the same way. It's just not going to happen. So I don't know if there's any option that gets us to competitive. Now, a couple years ago, the NBA had the Elam ending added to the All-Star game. This is the target score setup where you turn off the clock after 3 quarters, and the winners, whichever team reaches this target score, 24 more points than the leading team after 3. I mean, it's a convoluted system, but it sets up a competitive-ish fourth quarter. Does that do anything for you to make the All-Star game any better?
It doesn't really do it for me, because I actually am against the Elam ending. I just think tradition-wise, I like a game with a clock, those kinds of things.
Yeah.
But if I was going to adopt an Elam ending, I think the real games are where you adopt them. That's where we have, the last 90 seconds lasting 42 Earth minutes with all the fouls and the timeouts. That really doesn't come into play in the All-Star game. So the benefits of the Elam ending don't really apply to the All-Star game. So I enjoyed watching it just because I wanted to see the effects and those kinds of things. But yeah, I don't know why the NBA scrapped the Elam ending. I don't even know why they scrapped the draft either. Maybe the players protested, didn't want to do it anymore. But I applaud the NBA for this. They're at least trying stuff. They try stuff, and then they'll pull it back. I mean, they don't have to, they don't stick with it if they don't like it. But they clearly see there's a problem. I would, I like the idea of the All-Star game. I mean, when I was a kid, I enjoyed the heck out of the baseball All-Star game. The NBA All-Star game was not readily available on television when I was a kid. So I don't know. I don't have any memories of watching the NBA All-Star game, but I think I would have. I think I would have enjoyed it because you would have gotten to see a lot of players you don't get to see very often. That's really the problem of All-Star games, Jacko. Let's just tell it like it is. In the old days when they were popular, it was a little bit of a coming out party. It's a little bit of a demystification. Oh, there's Lou Hudson from the Atlanta Hawks. I've literally never seen Lou Hudson play basketball. Let's watch this.
Yeah.
Hey, there's whoever. There's Dominique Wilkins.
Yeah.
I don't get to see Dom. If you want to watch Dominique Wilkins now or whoever let's pick somebody. If you want to watch Joel Embiid or Tyrese Halliburton. Watch him 4 nights a week.
Yeah, you can see him 82 games.
And he's bunch of games on. Even if you don't want to subscribe, he's on, once a week or so.
Yeah.
So the allure, the novelty, the mystery is gone, and that's what the All-Star games provided.
Yeah.
And in baseball, the idea is that Rocky Colavito. We're going to get to watch Rocky Colavito play baseball tonight. We're going to get to see, of a more recent Alan Tramel and Lou Whitaker. They're going to be on the field tonight. We get to watch them. You get to watch those guys all the time now. So
yeah,
that's a little bit of the problem.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the problems. And I'll say this, it would not improve the play, but one thing that I wish all All-Star games would go back to, Barry, I know you're going to love this. I know you're going to be on board for this idea. Wearing your jerseys. Not these jerseys that are East and West or National and American. Wear your jersey.
Yes.
That had to be the coolest part, especially of All-Star baseball game. I'm like you. I don't remember many NBA All-Star games, but imagine if, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's out there in his Thunder blue and he's playing next to LeBron in his Lakers purple. I mean, give me the jerseys of the guys from the teams that they play on.
Best idea in the history of the Jenni and Berry show. Right there. You've just done it. You're right. Everybody, one team could wear their whites, which nobody likes to wear their whites anymore, so that'd be a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
But then people wear their colors. That would be fantastic. Yeah. That's not American marketing in the 21st century. You got to have all these. I'm waiting for the next All-Star jersey to be sequined, so that maybe even you can get some of the females interested. Country and Western crowd or whoever. I don't know who wears sequins. I'm just talking now. But it's in some ways it's a fashion show.
Yeah.
And in your scenario, it would also be a fashion show, just a glorious fashion show, a better fashion show. So yeah, that would be fantastic. Sign me up for that.
Yeah, the off-court fashion has become way more interesting than what we see on the court with the hybrid or with the jerseys that are all the same. I mean, it's way more interesting to see is, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander going to wear some blue fluffy coat to the game this year, or what's he going to put on? I mean, that's way more interesting than what they look like on the court.
You're just coming up with another great idea, a way to merge these two things together.
Fashion show?
When they come out for the introductions, everybody has their basketball uniform they're going to play in underneath, but you can come out for the starting introductions. You can come out in whatever you want to wear. If you want to wear the full length fur coat, who cares? If you want to wear, some sort of Russell Westbrook clown suit, go ahead. Whatever you want to wear for the introductions, people can go wild, and then you flip them off like Batman, like Clark Kent in the phone booth. Do you ever wonder why Clark Kent change clothes in a phone booth? I always thought that was strange because most phone booths you can see through, and identity was everything to him. So I don't know, but I think that's a good idea. You gotta appeal to the players run the league, the agents run the league, but the players have all the power. So you got to appeal to them, and maybe increasing the fashion while taking a little bit of the fashion away over here. That might work. I'm not opposed to it. And you mentioned this a second ago, talking about our conversation earlier amongst our staff, the whole idea of, what Bobby Howard said about what about these contests, and what about, got the dunk contest, we got the 3-point shooting, the skills, all this stuff, which has become mildly more entertaining as they've made teams and brought in, maybe G Leaguers or WNBA players. But why can't the dunk contest be the best dunk in the game? I think that could make guys get a little bit more competitive if they knew, if they gave up the dunk of the day, that it was going to be all over the highlights. I think maybe including those things into the game could be a really interesting idea. Yeah, I don't know how you would I don't know how you'd fill the void on Saturday night. The dunk contest for 30 for 30 years has been, something they've really marketed.
Yeah.
I tell you one thing that would be cool. And let me tell you what somebody would watch. And you're too young for this. But NBA halftimes used to be the coolest thing of all time. For a couple of years, you know what the NBA had at halftime of their Sunday afternoon broadcast? They had a one-on-one tournament.
Whoa.
And in the summer, they would bring guys into empty gyms and they'd play one-on-one against each other. And they'd show these games at halftime. Like they'd played, 11 or 13, whatever they played to.
Huh.
And it was like, it'd only take about 5 or 6 minutes. And it was fantastic. Could we get a one-on-one tournament on NBA Saturday night?
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Sign
me up for that. Because guess what? You'd have a referee, of course, but other than that, you got no judges. You don't get a 9 for missing a dunk in a one-on-one contest. So that's my solution. I'm with you. Get rid of the dunk contest, give a dunk champion from out of the game, and let's play one-on-one on NBA All-Star Saturday night.
Well, and because these guys are so competitive and they talk about being unguardable, that would be the ultimate test. Can these guys really be unguardable and win a one-on-one contest? We see it often in games, but what about when there's all spotlight on the one-on-one matchup? I think that could be really interesting. I think the players would be interested. I don't know what you think about that, but I think they'd be game for that.
You would get some of them interested, not everybody. Jokic.
Well, not everybody's in the dunk contest now that you want to see dunk.
Exactly right. You're exactly. Nobody's in the dunk contest that you want to see dunk. Yeah. We had our man Hamidou Diallo was in the dunk contest one year, for crying out loud. He wasn't even in the Thunder rotation. He's in the dunk contest. Yeah. America went around saying, "Who is Hamidou Diallo?" So I think I like it. I think that would be good. I actually like the 3-point contest. That's pretty fun. I don't like judges very much. Judging sports wears on me. So 3-point contest, make your shot. We know if it goes in, if it doesn't. So the 3-point I'm okay with. It's pretty fun. Some of the skills challenges are reasonably fun. But I think the one-on-one contest would be great. Move the dunk contest. That would be cool because you could have a leader in the clubhouse. Like, ever how you decide who's voting during the game, they could meet after a dunk or, converse or whatever and say, hey, new leader, you got to beat, Embiid's dunk. You got to beat SGA's dunk. So I like it. I like it a lot.
The thing about the 3-point shooting contest that is interesting is when somebody really gets on a roll. And it feels like you're watching the movie Pleasantville when they make every shot they throw at the basket. And it's almost like your brain starts to, what am I seeing here? How is this possible? But it's possible with, Steph Curry and some of these great shooters that are out there. But the 3-point, okay, I could probably get on board with that. And I think, they've added this, the skills, I don't remember what it's called, but when they have the half court shot and they've got the team and that's interesting because I think half court shots, people always like watching people shoot half court shots. And usually, it's not too long before somebody swishes one because that's a shot that players know how to make. So I'm not opposed to that, but the one-on-one contest. And then I wonder if there's a way to elevate the future stars game because there are really a lot of good young players in the league right now. And I'm sure some years it might not be as good, but that's always an interesting game to me to an extent. It's not going to be competitive. It's like the All-Star game itself. They're not going to play super hard, but that's interesting to me just because you do get to see guys that are of similar age on the floor together. And, you start to be able to compare maybe a little bit a guy that doesn't get to play a ton or gets to play is maybe a fourth option on a team. Suddenly you can see, hey, he could actually be a guy that could matriculate up to be a top option. That's always kind of interesting to me.
I think the Rising Stars has a runway to success. And I applaud the NBA because they've done some things with it, Now, some things are whiff. They bring in celebrities, some, to They play that celebrity game first of all.
I don't watch that at all.
Yeah, no, that's just nonsense. But the this year we've got 4 teams, and they're going to play basically short scrimmages and have bracket play, and you advance to the finals. That's sort of fun. In other words, you don't get stuck watching a full game of the same guys going, and you got more drama, and so that's good. And they've got some past NBA stars coaching, Pau Gasol, and that crowd. So they're working on it. It's sort of a little bit loopy in that, like the Thunder guys are on different teams. I think Santa Clara and Case and Wallace are on different teams.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe Holmgren's with Santa Clara. I can't remember. Anyway, it's just it's not a perfect system, but they're working on it. I give the NBA credit; they are working on it. So I think that one's salvageable.
Yeah,
I think that one's salvageable. I don't know that the dunk contest is salvageable anymore because just people. The problem is fear of injury, and number 2 is just the fear of losing. When your best dunkers don't want to be, they don't want to be end up on social media.
Yeah,
they don't want people making fun of them. It's like getting posterized. The concept of posterized in a game. But I think some of the things we've talked about really could work out. I really do.
Okay, last question as it relates to improving All-Star Weekend. Is the true answer to all these questions money? I mean, the NBA is not exactly a cash-strapped league. If they had players get to share a certain amount of money on the All-Star game, or I don't know what the dunk contest winner could get potentially, but it'd likely be pretty small potatoes for the league. But is money the answer to this whole thing?
I don't think so. I don't think these guys are motivated much by money anymore. They make so much, and if they don't make what they want to, they can call Nike and make more. So I just don't know that the All-Star game could generate the kind of money that would motivate them. So like, given the All-Star winners share, those guys share $25 million and the losers share nothing.
Yeah.
I doubt that would even move the needle. I don't know if it would. So I'm tempted to say no on that one.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what motivates these guys.
I mean, maybe
the number one thing is pride. That's what you have to appeal to, their pride.
Right. No doubt about it. And the only thing with the money, I agree that I don't know that individual money would matter, but what if it was charity money? What if guys got to take money, give it to a charity of their choosing, a big fat check to a good charity? That might be something that could appeal to guys. I don't know. But one thing that we've hit on, and I agree, you said it earlier, Barry, the NBA, to their credit, is trying to figure out different things that they can do to make All-Star Weekend better. Will they work? I don't know. I think it's a high mountain to climb at this point because of a lot of the things that we talked about, but at least they're trying. So tip of the cap to the NBA for at least being willing to explore these options, do some different things. And hey, maybe we've given them an idea or two.
Right. And here's the other thing. The NFL, Major League Baseball, they've done some tinkering over the years, but they haven't been near as innovative as the NBA with their All-Star Weekend and their All-Star game, and the results show it. So I agree with you. The NBA, thumbs up. You have tried. That's all we can ask.
Well, we hope you enjoy All-Star Weekend, if that's possible. We'll try to do it too, but that's all the time we've got this week. We've got all sorts of Thunder content at selloutcrowd.com, and you can find our columns, videos, podcasts, everything we've got there at selloutcrowd.com or barrytramel.com or jenny-carlson.com. If you want our content sent straight to your inbox, it's easy. Sign up for our newsletters. Just go to selloutcrowd.com and opt in. If this happens to be your first time hearing or watching us, be sure to subscribe to our show on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. And if you like what you hear, please leave a review. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.